Hey there. So this morning I was invited to give a talk to our Ministry of Transportation here in Ontario, and they asked me to speak about navigating change. And this is a huge topic, so I really had to ask for some specifics of what they were looking to get out of my talk. And what I came up with was, I think, pretty valuable. It seemed to go over well with participants, and so I thought I'd share a few takeaways from it with you now. So the first thing I wanted to say is that change is messy, and we often, as professionals, often we're working in high pressure industries. We don't have a lot of time. We know we want to meet our goals and we want to hit our deadlines and we want to achieve our production targets and hit our different goals and get our project work done on time. We don't always want to take the time to go through the process of change, which is very much an internal thing that each person experiences individually. So even if we're all adjusting to the same new software, for example, or we're all getting to know a new executive team, or we're all going through the same merger or acquisition, we're each going to experience the change internally a little bit differently because it is such a personal thing. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. Change is constant. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's the only sure thing is you're always going to be going through some kind of a change, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's a marriage or a divorce or a birth or a death of a loved one, or moving or changing your job. This is the really big life stuff. And then, of course, there are the professional changes, of which I mentioned a few examples earlier. So the only constant is change. If we can get good at mastering change and coming through it, at least only a little bit distracted, only a little bit compromised in our ability to get things done, if we can move through the stages, it is going to really help us achieve more in the long run. So the good news is that change is predictable. Much as it may look very messy from the outside because it has that human factor and that individual factor involved, every change has three distinct parts. And I referenced some, in my talk, I referenced some of the research on this from a transition perspective. And then I also talked about what some of the change literature is telling us from a business perspective. And I realized that the two systems actually merge together beautifully, this research from the personal side and this research from the business side. And if you're interested in seeing how this works, I would love to share it with you. Please put the word change in the comments and I will follow up with you and send you the slides to my talk where you can see lots more detail, as well as the worksheet that I came up with by pulling these two models together to get from the place where we're just going through in survival mode, we're panicked, we're stressed, we're distracted by the change we're going through, to the place where we're embracing the good stuff that this change has to offer us and we're thriving on the other side of the transition. Everybody wants to get to the other side, and I believe that this is how we can do it. Using what these two models put together have to offer us, this is how we can get there. And it is predictable and it is doable, both for ourselves and for the people that we're leading in our workplaces. So again, just drop the word change in the comments and I'd be happy to send you some of these materials because I'd really love to know what you think and how relevant this is to you in your industry and in your company. Thanks very much.